poor man and the rich man. Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, there lived two neighbors, one rich and one poor. The poor man, let's call him Peter, lived in a humble little cottage at the edge of the village. His roof leaked when it rained, and his clothes were worn, but his heart was warm, and he always had a smile for everyone he met. Now, just across the road from Peter, lived Mr. Thompson, the richest man in the village. His house was grand, with shiny windows and a big garden with colorful flowers. Mr. Thompson had many fine things, but he was not a happy man. He was always worrying about his riches, afraid that someone might take them away. One day, as the sun dipped low in the sky, Peter sat outside his cottage, watching the birds fly home to their nests. Mr. Thompson, passing by, saw Peter and scoffed. "How can you be happy with so little?" he asked, shaking his head. Peter smiled kindly and replied, "I may not have much, but I have enough to make me content. I have a roof over my head, food on my table, and friends like you to share stories with." Mr. Thompson couldn't understand how Peter could be happy with so little, and he went home feeling even more troubled by his own wealth. That night, as the moon rose high, Mr. Thompson tossed and turned in his soft bed, unable to sleep. His mind was filled with worries about losing his riches. Meanwhile, Peter slept soundly in his creaky old bed, dreaming of simple joys like sunshine and laughter. The next morning, Mr. Thompson woke up tired and grumpy, while Peter greeted the day with a smile. As the days went by, Mr. Thompson couldn't shake off his worries, while Peter continued to find joy in the little things. One day, Mr. Thompson came to Peter and said, "I envy your happiness, Peter. I have all the riches in the world, but I am not content. Can you teach me how to be happy with less?" Peter nodded and invited Mr. Thompson into his cottage. Together, they sat by the fireplace, sharing stories and laughter. From that day on, Mr. Thompson learned to appreciate the simple joys in life, and he discovered that true happiness doesn't come from wealth, but from a grateful heart. And so, dear children, remember the tale of Peter and Mr. Thompson, and know that happiness can be found in the smallest of things. As you drift off to sleep, may your dreams be filled with joy and contentment, just like Peter's. Good night, little ones. Sleep tight.